Motherfucker, my son, gotta do what?
Miss, can we borrow a dictionary, please?
Here you are.
Thanks. Here it is, curriculum, the subjects included in a course of study.
best thing is probably just being young, and I've got, you know, a whole lifetime of just fun, you know. I've got a whole lifetime of just doing what I want, you know, and it's being out there in the world, doing what you like, you know. You've got a lot of time to see and do stuff. So I guess it sort of balances, you know. I'm working it hard at the moment, trying to study, trying to work hard. But when you think about it, you know, I've got a lot ahead, a lot to look forward to, so I enjoy where I am at the moment. Probably the worst bit of being a teenager is the fact that you still have to be at school and maintain a living, because I don't live with my parents, and I have 2 part-time jobs and got to run the car and the household by myself, so it's a hassle trying to balance school with work for me. I sort of got thrown into self-management as a thing. You know, I used to be the kind of kid that got up in the morning and watched TV, you know, right through till midnight, you know. I used to sit there and eat food and just muck around, but I had to come to work because my parents decided to move away, and it was either stay here or move with them, you see. So I sort of chose, you know, I took an option, and I'll have to live with it, and that was to live by myself and work hard, and well, that's where I am today. So I guess you sort of work your way through the independence, and if you don't do it, you don't succeed.
He's not here.
He must be on his break.
I know what it's like to be a manager.
I'd like to be a manager.
I might see what it feels like.
What are you going to do at the phone ring?
Hey, what's going on here?
Do you think that by sitting in the chair makes you a manager? Yeah, there's a lot more to that, isn't there? I mean, what happens if there's a whole queue of people waiting outside your door, waiting for you to solve all their problems and issues on the shop floor? How would you manage that?
I'm still keen to give it a go.
Well, I'm impressed with your motivation, Jason. What I'd like to do is talk about the responsibility of the manager and the accountability of that position. What I can do is put you with other managers, and they can explain their role, how they deal with our business on a day-to-day basis, and who they're accountable to, and their responsibilities. Would you still be keen to carry on with that?
Yep.
She is such a backstabber.
Can you believe her?
Oh, look who's coming!
Oh, great.
Hello!
What do you want?
What do you want?
To say hi, what's wrong?
You've said it, now leave.
We heard what you've been saying about us.
I didn't say
can't
hi.
believe you.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, you're so pathetic. She's denying
What
it.
about?
Please.
You touched me! I didn't know!
You touched her.
No, I didn't!
You just touched
me!
her.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
You have such a nerve.
What did I do?
We heard what you've been saying about us.
What did I say? I didn't
I hope
say
you're going to have
anything.
fun with your new friends. Because you're certainly not our friend. We don't even like
could you do that to us?
We hate you. Go away.
Fine.
Yes. Hey man, you got any money for lunch? Cause I like forgot my lunch, man.
What about this guy? You want to say money?
Hey, Patty.
Hey, yo,
Got any money for lunch?
Patty, man. Come here, some money, man. I hear it jingling in those pockets of yours. Get a job. Come on, man.
Come on. Come on, take his money, I'll hold him down. Come on.
Yes, he's got a note.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, the